So I've got a question for you. My question to you is, how do you talk to yourself every day? What are the words that you use? What are the descriptions that you use? What questions do you ask yourself, particularly when things don't go well? But also when things do go well, what are the things that you say to yourself? These are really important. And a lot of times people would ask me, or I had heard all the time, how necessary it was to tell yourself nice things and be careful how you speak about yourself. And I never really gave it much thought. I thought it was a lot of fluff, to be honest with you. And it wasn't until several years ago when I just started listening to, they had just started coming out, those motivational videos, at least they were just becoming popular. And I started listening to them, and Les Brown really stood out to me, so I listened to a lot of his stuff. And right off the bat, I really enjoyed the way he spoke. I really connected to his story. And, he really was compassionate and just really tells a wonderful story. And you can feel the pain that he went through. You can see the journey that he went through. And you can see his drive and his desire and where he was able to end up. So I really, really enjoy his stories. I still do. But I would just start to listen to them. Mostly Les Brown, but they were compilation videos. And I got to a point where I was just really became practically addicted to it. And it wasn't until later that I had realized that what I was doing was drowning out all the negative things that I was telling myself. And I didn't really realize it, how bad a lot of those things were that I was telling myself. I look back now, oftentimes, like if I do something silly or something that was unexpected, messed up on something, dropped something, spilt something, could just be just an accident. And now oftentimes I giggle, like it's kind of funny, like, oh, well, that happened. I guess I need to clean that up now. And in those moments, oftentimes I remember, wow, that is so much different from what I would have heard back before I started listening to those motivational videos. And, it would have gone on something as simple as even just spilling water would have gone on to this huge dramatic production inside my mind that would have spiraled down to back when I was born, how I messed something up there. Like, it was really that intense. And that was just something that somewhere along the line I picked up that habit of just beating myself up over silly mistakes, not allowing myself any room for error, and feeling that if there was anything that I did wrong, I just had to beat myself up. I had to pay the price. And so when I found those motivational videos and started listening to it, the reason why I was so drawn to it is because it made me feel good inside. And what I really enjoyed about them is I put my earphones on back then, and I would, Les Brown will talk, and he'll talk in general, and then he'll talk about the you statements, but he definitely gets into the I statements. And even all of those, there's bits and pieces where I really get to tune into it, but especially the I statements. When he says it, you're saying it. And when he says it and it's in your ears, it feels like it's in your brain. It's just a weird thing that really allowed me to connect to it. So in these videos, I would be repeating to myself these affirmations and really changing the dialogue. I didn't have time for the other stuff, because even if I was walking around, had my headphones on, dropped or did something silly, I didn't have time to think about that because I was still hearing what was going on. I was listening to Les Brown's story and I was connecting with that. So it was changing a habit. It was forcing out that old negative habit of how I would talk to myself. And it was pushing in just this beautiful, wonderful, wonderful journey of someone that can push forward and be and do and have all the wonderful things in life. And so that was really a game changer for me. But the reason why I'm making this video is not only to inspire you to look for something that does that for you. Try out a motivational video and see if that works. If it does, wonderful. If not, that's fine. Some people, it helps doing the mirror work and looking in the mirror and being able to talk to themselves that way. There are different things that you can try, but to get to that feeling of building yourself up and feeling all the wonderful feels when you're actually telling yourself that you can do something and that you can pursue your goals and that you're worthy of having them. One thing that just recently came back to me is, with all the wonderful things going on here at Masterful Manifestors, all the great success that we're having in the business, all the individual successes that we're having through putting ourselves through the challenges as well. It's just having a wonderful, great time with it. I've been caught up and busy working on different stuff and really excited and focused in different areas. And I realized I've gotten out of the habit of listening to those motivational videos. And I think somewhere along the line, I figured, well, I don't need them anymore. I've got a pretty good self-talk going on for myself. And recently, something triggered that, no, I still need those. They still work so well for me that I don't know exactly where I got out of doing those on a daily basis. But sure enough, as soon as I had that realization, went back, looked up some good old Les Brown goodies and put them in, and sure enough, within 5 minutes, I had that fire burning inside me. All of the projects that I'm working on just had that much more fuel behind them, and I'm super stoked. I was stoked before, but now there's just this extra dimension practically of energy behind it. And it's just one of those things that we can move forward, we can grow, but if there's something that works for you, make sure you go back to it and you use it. And if you realize you're not using it on a daily basis, see if it's something that you still need. Make sure that it didn't just kind of work its way out because you got caught up doing other things. So stay in tune with yourself, pay attention to what's going on, know what works for you, know what gives you that fire and fuels you and gets you going, because that's absolutely so much of what makes this life so beautiful. So that's what gets me going. One of the things that really lights me up and keeps me on track and keeps me focused, especially pushing through new times, those big adventures, those big celebrations, those wins that come along, the successes that you have. Sometimes they can get a little frightening when you're entering new territories. So it's good to have those go-tos in some of the low times, but also in the good times. When you're growing, you might need a little extra boost to remind you that you deserve to be there, and just to keep pushing forward, and everything's going to be great. I'd love to know what it is. If you know what fuels you that way, keeps you motivated, keeps that fire burning inside of you, drop it in the comments. I'd love to hear it. Live passionate, everybody. I love you so much. Have a great day.